Hello everybody. Oh boy. First off, for those waiting for the live, I have to apologise because I was doing all the preparation and just cruising along, and then all of a sudden thought, oh yeah, I better go check the time. And it was way past 8:30. So there you have it. I apologise for my tardiness. So there we go. Right. So I can see who comes in now. So I'll just grab some gloves. So I will also, because I was so late, do my best to be quite efficient in tonight's video. Now that I've already sat here and got things ready and got things out and everything. So, alright. Popping the gloves on because I'm going to do a string dip technique. But I think I want to just do kind of lines. So, and I've decided that I'm going to have to unravel my wool at this point and wrap it around some cardboard or something, because this has just gotten into such a mess now that it's dwindled down to not much. But before I cut it away, I wanted to show you I'm going to be using an 8x10 canvas, and the longest side I will need will be the 10-inch side. So what's 10 inches? 25 centimeters. So then give it a little bit extra each side. I'm not looking at doing a flower or anything like that tonight, so I don't need to cut a lot extra, just enough to hold. So that's how I would plan for my string, which is 8-ply acrylic wool. It's very general. You'll find it in most department stores or craft stores or anything like that. So, hey Mum. Hi, C. Sterling. Thanks for popping in. So, we'll just come into the middle now. And I'm going to turn you sideways. So we'll work on it that way because it's a better view for the view of the camera. So, alright, scissors away. So, these paints here were what was left over from yesterday. And so these are the ones that are a little bit more fluid because I've added extra water to them. And I added a blue. And I also added extra water to that one, just so that it was consistent with the rest of them. So that's where my colours came from. So there's the lime green, the gold, the pink, the darker green and the blue. So I also prop my canvas up when I don't have push pins on lids of my tube paints that have been finished. So I keep the lid and throw the tube out. Something worth considering if you find yourself forgetting to buy push pins like I do. So, alright. This here is my Spring Brand White House paint. It's mixed up equal parts with Floetrol. And I'm going to coat the background with this. We'll start with that, leave a little bit in the cup, but then just move it around, trying to cover the back surface. And go off all the way now. You don't want to leave too much of a coating on the back. But there you go. And get it all flowing down. Alright. There you go. That looks pretty good. Looks like a pretty perfect amount that I poured on there actually. So it was just over half a cup, I'd say. And oh, I'm sorry, my cloth was just out of reach. So it's always great when doing acrylic pouring to have a wet cloth nearby to help. Oh, let's get that back in focus. How are we going? There we go. Yeah, to help wipe off your hands in between colours if need be, or if you find yourself handling the painting as you tilt, and you can wipe off those colours. Alright, so pop that down there. So I'm not going to torch only because it doesn't look like there's a lot of bubbles. If I could see lots of bubbles, I would definitely torch it. But tonight we're looking good. So for this one, I'm going to lay down, let's see, lay down a drop of paint from the cups. So the other thing I added to these paints is a tiny, teeny drop of silicone. Hi, Celine. Oh, I'm trying to think of some French, and I'm sorry, I think oui, madame is about as good as I can do. Welcome. Hi. So I'll just pop my string into the paints. So what I did, because I only wanted a really tiny amount of silicone in here, I actually put a drop of silicone onto a plastic tub lid, any non-porous surface really, and used a toothpick to dip in the silicone and then mix the paints with it. So just trying to turn the wool in the paints without getting too much all over my fingers. So I just move over a little. That way you can see this too. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pick this up now. So you can see the different colors across the string, and not too much that it's dripping off. I can hold it up and move it around. So I'm going to go with lines. So we're going to just pop that in there. You can see the paint come off into the background. Just give it a little lift and slight drag to the side. I'm going to go again, whoop, right there. So all I did between that was just where the white was, where it lifted up with the string, laid that down. And what do we need to do? Lift you this way. There you go. That's better. Alright. Natka, hello, welcome. So, here we go. So while I'm going through this, may you be inspired, learn something new, or simply relax while you're watching. So you can see now the weight of the white is on the bottom. I'm just going to tap that off a bit. Because I'm not doing a flower or anything, I'm going to reuse my string straight into the paints. Let it soak up some more. Because I'm not dragging the string through the white background, I'm actually not picking up a lot of white paint. So get a few more lines done. So again, you are lightly, let's see, go this way. Just letting that paint settle into the background. Let's bring you closer. Alright. So lifting it up and slightly lifting it to the side will leave behind that tiny little trace. And then again, just dropping it down on the plastic and back into the colours. So you can see how that was Darnell. Hello, hello. How are you going? Alright. So now we'll just go again. Create a few more lines. I want to make the blue on the other side. So really now it's just about finding wherever you want to lay it. And then slightly lifting it up and dragging to the side to leave behind that trace of colour. Dropping it off here, if you can see at the very top of your screen. I drop it off there afterwards to release some of that white that comes up with it. Creations by Baby Doll. Hello, Brenda. Doris. How are you guys? Right. I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a really quick one. I actually came on late because I got distracted getting everything ready and had no idea how much time had gotten away from me. So we're going to lay this down here. Just let it settle into the background paint. And then lifting and slightly to the side. To leave that trace of colour behind. Now again, placing it down exactly as it was. And then coming back to the paint to let it soak up a little bit more for the next couple of lines. So right there we have 5. I think we'll go for 7, and then we'll torch it and give it a bit of movement. So For those that have come in, we're using the leftover paints from last night's pour, and I have added a very, very slight trace amount using a toothpick of silicone into the paints. Each paint, I should say. So when this is torched, I'm surprised there might be like one reaction cell coming up, but when we torch it, hopefully we'll see some bloom, and they really tend to grow out in the background. And we'll give it a bit of movement, tilt it around. So I think we'll go down this way, just relaxing that string, letting that paint settle in. Right. Good. Doris, you're good. Hope you're doing good too. I am, thank you. That's thoughtful. All right. And yeah, so if you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below for those watching the replay. And a huge welcome and appreciation for those watching live as well. So pop it into here. I think this last one will be somewhere here, and the blue will be down this end, so we'll have the light green up here. So I thought this would be really good. I'll use up my extra paints, and there's almost as much left in there now as there was when I started. Okay, go this way, let that settle. Alright, so lifting up and dragging slightly to the side. It's probably a really good angle for you to see that. Oh, I kind of want to keep playing before I torch and tilt, but because I was late, I do want to not take up too much of your time. So now let's torch it. I think this hole here is a bit of a cell. Might just bring you down to see what happens when we torch. Okay. Going along the lines mostly, trying to encourage that any trace of silicone to come out. You can see some, hang on, that might help. So see if I can pick this up without losing my tube lids. Awesome. So you can see that there are some cell reactions in there. I'd like to give it a bit of a tilt, give it a bit of movement. Not too much, because we didn't leave much on the surface, because we didn't want too much paint left in the background. Just a little bit. But I think what I'd like to do now from this point you see how they just continue to grow. A little bit of stretching as well. A little bit of movement. Cool, I love the negative space. Thank you, Brenda. I think for a hot minute, I'd just like to dab on some extra paint. I'm going to roll the string, try and keep the white on the top, and add some more. And in a couple more areas, and then I think I might leave it. I'm enjoying the crispness, the cells spreading out without, excuse me, without, losing that negative space. I'm going to start here this time. Go. Let's see. I think there's one more, and then we'll have a close-up and sign off for the night. So before we do that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. I really appreciate that. Taking your time out to do so. And you go off that side. As I say in the beginning, may you be inspired, learn something new, or simply relax while watching. Well, I hope that has happened with this video. Something a little bit different. The last time I did string dip lines, I did them all straight and then moved it around. I left a lot of background paint on the canvas. And yeah, it was awesome. So it has been a little while. So really I'm just going over what I believe from memory that I just added. And yeah, happy to leave it there. So let's have a close-up now. Doris, love it. Tracy, thank you, Doris. I will have a great night now. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great evening. Cheers, Brenda. I definitely will. And that looks really neat. Thanks, Dana. Right, let's just do that then. The camera flip. There we go. So what I actually love is the tiny little flicks that come out the side. And then we've got the cells. You could do this without that slight trace of silicone in there. I was just thinking in my head that I needed to do it. And you don't really, because it depends on what effects you like to see. So, more. Let's come over this way. And up this last side. Oh, very good. Thank you, Celine. I really appreciate you being here too. So, alright. If you've enjoyed that, please thumbs up on your way out. Really appreciate it. So there's an overall view. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have to go anywhere, please take care. And, oh, much love to all. Thank you, thank you. Be kind, be creative, and be fabulous. Bye.